Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Charlotte and today we're going to talk about how to achieve your mental and physical goals for the new year. Also, just a side note, we're going to ignore the mess in the back. I've started decluttering my closet and I didn't know where to put it for now, like that's all going to go to donations. So we're just going to pretend we didn't see that. So let's jump right into it. We don't have any time to waste. We are going to get our goals achieved this year. So step number 1 is to really just set some clear goals. Grab a pen and paper and really get to writing. So for this step, what I recommend is to start by making your more general goals. So like some basic ones are losing weight, making more money, reading more, starting a business, stuff like that. But what I want you to do next is gonna help you so much. So instead of just having those as your goals, like those are good, you have something to work towards, but how are you gonna get there is the real issue. So my advice would be to not only have those goals in mind, but you're gonna take that paper and make a list under every broad goal that you have and make some steps on how to get there. So like step number 1 for losing weight would be determine your ideal caloric intake, or how much protein you want to take, or what kind of foods you want to cut out, what kind of foods you want to incorporate into your diet. The internet has so many good resources for this, so you can just search up whatever kind of goal you want to achieve. You just Google that goal and search how to achieve that. Basically, you just make like a list of some small steps that will help you get to the final goal. Because if your goal is just lose weight, like that's good, but you really need to know how to get to that goal, and it'll make it way more digestible. Because if your goal is just so broad, it's so vague, you're gonna want to achieve it, but then if you don't know how, you're gonna give up way too quickly. Versus if you have a lot of very small, very digestible goals that you could reach faster. So let's say my goal is to lose weight. I'm gonna have a step that is gonna be walk 10,000 steps a day. That's like, let's say, step number 3 on the list. There I'll start with 5,000 and then I'll go to 7,000 and then 8, 9, 10. So when I get to those 10,000 steps, that's already one goal that I achieved for the new year. So I'm already gonna have that like self-accomplishment, which will really drive me to want to keep going and reach the next step, which will eventually lead me to my final goal, because the more you walk, the more weight you lose. That's just like how the body works. But if I don't have those like small digestible steps placed in my mind, I might lose hope faster. So when you have all your goals written down on your paper, you're really gonna make like a checklist for each of those goals into more micro, small steps that will lead you to your final goal. And then as you check those off, you're gonna feel so motivated and you're gonna feel like you really want to keep going, and it's way more easy to achieve one small goal at a time versus one large goal that will take you like months to achieve, and it'll really keep you from giving up. Okay, so one of my biggest pieces of advice for the mental aspect is, it is really basic and you might kind of like roll your eyes at me, but I'm telling you to just get off social media as much as you can. I'm not saying to completely delete your apps and go fully dopamine detox and like take it to the extreme, because I mean I would just crash out. Like I like going on YouTube, I like going on TikTok, I like scrolling on Reddit, whatever. It's fun, like it's not gonna hurt anybody. But if you're doing it all day, every day, you're gonna start to feel your brain just melt, your days turn into a blur, and you'll lose motivation so much faster. So start by consuming social media more mindfully. Be more aware of what you're consuming. And something to start with is going on your screen time and just analyze what you're using the most and see like what good does that bring you. Because if I look at my screen time and I'm like, okay, I watched TikTok for 3 hours today, can I remember a single video that I watched? Not really. I remember like 1 or 2 funny ones or like a story time, but everything else, it's just like, what did I gain from it? In the moment I was entertained, but when I look back, I don't remember like a single video that I watched, and I just wasted 3 hours that could have been used for something else. I could have been reading a book that I've been putting off for half a year instead. But it's just like your time is more precious than you realize, especially like every year you get older. And I don't want to sound like I'm blackpilling or anything, but like the older you get, the more you realize that your time is valuable, your time's worth money. It's like that's the one thing you don't get back. And oh my gosh, you guys should watch a movie called In Time with Amanda Seyfried and Justin Timberlake. It really dives deep into that. Your time is the most valuable currency. So if you're using it all on social media, like, you know when people say that if something is free, then you're the product? Well, that applies to social media as well. Every view you give somebody, they get paid. Every time you scroll and you see an ad, the app gets paid. So even though for you it's free to use the app, you're literally giving them your attention, you're giving them your time, which you could be using for yourself, and it would be worth way more if you kept it to yourself. So start by setting some screen time limits. You go in like the settings. It's pretty simple. You can either do that. That's like, or if you have really no self-control, I would just fully delete the apps, and you can still use them, but I would say to use them on like Safari, like on desktop, because they're way less enjoyable, less convenient. You can't just like open your phone and automatically go there as like a reflex. You have to like physically write down in the search bar like Instagram, and then you're scrolling, you're like, okay, whatever, I'm not that interested, and then I'll close it like 2 minutes later, or I'll just use it, post, and then get off the app. I'm not gonna go there, scroll for hours. I'll just use it, do what I had to do, and then get off. Another aspect about media consumption is movies, shows, and to just try maybe once a week to write like a legit review on Letterboxd, or even just like on your notes app. You don't have to publish it anywhere. It's more for yourself to make your brain work just a little bit at least. Because I've noticed that lately Letterboxd has become kind of just like another social media app where everybody's posting meme reviews, and like I love that, but it used to be about like legit reviews. They would write paragraphs and essays on there, and I would read those and I'd be like, okay, this person's really smart, like they analyzed the movie, they connected dots in it, and I don't see that much these days. So try to just challenge yourself and watch something that makes you think, like once a week, once every 2 weeks. Like just watch a movie more actively instead of passively, because I feel like a lot of people just watch stuff in the background as like background noise, and that's fine, but it's just like after a while your brain, it just like needs something to stimulate it. So if you watch something just more actively, you can even take notes, just like you watch it, you write a review after, or you write some thoughts about it, and it's good. It's like a little brain exercise, but it's still enjoyable because you still watched a movie. So basically, I'm not saying to fully deprive yourself from social media, from entertainment. Just try to be a bit more mindful about how you take it in and how you use it. So another aspect about the mental glow up is going to be to teach yourself some skills this year, and those will help so much with your self-confidence. It could be something as easy as coloring. It could be like learning an instrument, learning how to sing better. You can learn how to code, you can learn how to edit videos. So it could either be a skill that like doesn't bring any monetary value, any like big knowledge, but you still enjoy it, which is what's important. Or you could even learn a skill that brings you money. So if you learn coding, that could become a job. If you learn video editing, you could do that as like a living. You could edit for YouTubers. If you get better at like learning an instrument, let's say I want to learn piano, every like small little milestone that I achieve with that skill is going to bring me so much confidence, because your brain realizes that it just did that and it couldn't do that before. And it's such a good feeling when you achieve something new and you do it for yourself and not for the validation of people online or from others. It's just such a rewarding feeling, and it makes you want to do more and more and learn more, and you start to crave learning. And then your brain is a sponge, it just wants to keep learning. And if you're learning a skill that really brings you joy, so let's say guitar, every new song that I'm learning, I get so happy because is just like, it's an achievement, and then I get to play it, and it's just the more skills you learn, the more confident in yourself you will become. So I am telling you, this year you should try to find a hobby, a goal, a skill, something you want to learn, and then just start a little bit, like 5 minutes a day, and then 10 minutes a day, or like coloring 1 page a week, 1 page a day. It could be literally from the tiniest thing to like the biggest thing. It doesn't really matter how much it is, what it is. It just matters what you want to do, how much you want to do, and every time you achieve a new step, you will get that much more confidence. It'll show on the outside because you feel good about yourself. You know you can do some stuff that others can't, and that's just something like so important. If you want to incorporate some new habits this year, my biggest advice would be habit stacking and micro habits. For habit stacking, it's pretty self-explanatory. So for example, a habit I want to incorporate is doing gua sha every single night, and this far I did it once this year, so that's not really good. And I realized I need to stack it onto an existing habit to make it stick. So if I just do it like randomly during the day, I have to remember it, and I probably won't because it's not something I used to do. But if I set it on top of a habit I already do, like brushing my teeth before going to bed, I'll brush my teeth and wash my face, and then since I'm already doing that, I'll say, okay, let me add 2 minutes to my routine by doing gua sha. So I'm not really like breaking up my routine, I'm just adding a step onto a routine that already exists. And since I'm not breaking up my routine, I'm gonna actually stick to it because I'm already doing it every night. By adding an extra 2 minutes to my step, it'll make it so much easier for me to actually do it every night consistently, instead of just throwing it randomly into the day, because I'm not really gonna remember that. Like, just take a habit you already do every day and you just stack another habit that you want to incorporate onto the same time slot of that pre-existing habit. And when it comes to micro habits, I have an example that I literally heard last night in the Emma Chamberlain podcast, and she mentioned the story from Atomic Habits about this team of English bikers that just kept losing all their races. They kept trying new stuff all the time, but it kept failing and they kept losing. And so they brought in an expert to help them learn new skills to start winning. So what they tried, instead of trying to change up their whole techniques, their whole routines, or like the athletes or whatever, they just changed small, tiny habits, like fixing their sleep schedule, changing the wheels on their bikes. I don't really know like all the specifics, but instead of changing up the whole routine, they just switched some tiny habits that you wouldn't think about. But in the end, by changing all those tiny little habits, it made such an impact in the grand picture that they ended up winning just by fixing a bunch of little things. Okay, I have to talk much faster now because I'm almost out of storage and my phone's about to die. So let's wrap this up. So for the micro habits, you're gonna wanna just take those big goals, big habits you want to incorporate in your routine, break them down into smaller, more digestible, more easy to achieve habits. So you don't want it to be too vague. You want more small, more specific things that, according to you, will help you achieve your specific goals. Try to focus on doing it more curated to what you want to achieve, not what the next person wants to achieve. Now for the physical aspect, if you want to get to your goal body, that's one of my goals for the year. I want to get that like snatched Pilates princess body. My biggest advice would be to find a type of exercise that you enjoy and you will actually do often. Don't try to force yourself to do reformer Pilates because it's trendy and everyone's doing it and everyone's preaching it. Don't try to go like doing some deadlifts because you think it'll give you a huge butt. Like, those things might work for you, it might work for somebody else, but if you don't enjoy it, you'll likely not stick to it. So I recommend finding something you enjoy, like walking, hiking, ballet, just cleaning the house, doing tennis, just something that gets you moving, and adding a bit of like muscle exercises too, not just like movements like cardio. That's good to lose the weight, but you also want to build some muscle so you don't get like skinny fat. You want to still have some definition, some tightness, and some tone, if that's your goal, of course. But basically I would recommend you to really find something that you like and you know that you'll stick to, and it'll make you want to do it more often. You won't feel forced to work out. You won't feel like it's a chore that you have to do to get to your goals. You'll just be literally enjoying it, and then by doing that you'll end up having your dream body without feeling like you're even working towards it. Another tip I have is to find your signature fragrance and to not use too many products. So let's say you want to smell like vanilla. I would tell you not to go to Bath and Body Works and buying 10 different creams and lotions that smell like vanilla. And you don't have to use like a 10-step skincare routine either, because by using so many products, first of all, they won't all be effective. They're just like one big blur on your face. Some of them might like counteract each other. You might end up doing more harm than good because you are just giving your skin too much, and it'll start breaking out more because it's just like so overloaded with chemicals it doesn't know what to do. So the more simple, the more effective, the better. I think less is more when it comes to skincare. And for the fragrance aspect, you don't need to get like 20 different perfumes, 20 different lotions to smell like one thing. Just find like 1 or 2 perfumes that you really like and that are close to you, not because they're trendy on like TikTok or whatever. Find something that you genuinely like and invest in something that's good quality. It'll last you longer, you don't have to use as much, and it'll really help your health also, because you're not putting a bunch of artificial chemicals on your skin. Like, your skin is a sponge. Everything you put on it will get absorbed in your body. So the healthier, the simpler, the better. You just want to smell good and find your signature smell. And finally, for the physical glow up, I would recommend watching YouTube videos on those like 24-hour in 1 week type of glow up videos, which hopefully I'll make one this year. I have like so many more tips on like the face or like the hair or like the nails. Like, there's so many more aspects to the physical glow up that I don't really think I could include every single one of those in this video. I feel like I already talked so much. So if you want to hear a video about that, let me know in the comments. I'm probably still gonna make it eventually. But like nails, your face, your makeup, your hair, that's like things that are really personal to you that you should find what suits you best by experimenting. Try new hairstyles, try like new hair colors or like wigs, whatever, until you find something that suits you the best. It's not because it looks good on somebody else that it'll look good on you. Like, as much as I would want to have some other girl's hair color because it makes her look really good, it might end up washing me out. So really experiment with makeup, like do your nails. You will feel so much more put together if you do your nails. I'm telling you, when my nails are done, I feel like I could take over the world. When they're not done, I just feel kind of like icky. So experiment, see what you like the most, see what makes you feel the best, look the best, and with trial and error, you'll end up finding what makes you look better, feel better. But like, just watching other videos can also give you inspiration, and then if you try those, you'll eventually find something that works with you. It's like throwing things against the wall, seeing what sticks. Just keep what sticks for you. So that's all the time I have for today. I hope at least one bit of advice helped you and will help you achieve your mental, physical goals for 2025. I will keep posting more this year. That's another goal I have. I want to like post more videos more consistently, because I only posted 2 last year, which I wanted to post once a week. I did not do that. So this year is the year. We got this. We got this. You got this. I got this. We all got this. Let's all achieve our goals together. Let's stay positive. Let's work hard. We're gonna get there. I wish you guys the best of luck, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.